Hello, everybody. My name is Paul Cuaresma from Guam High School,
And I am Dina Smith from Bama Jackson High School.
and we're here together to present our lesson plan, Blink, Blink, Blinkety Blink, Making Me Think, Exploring the Math and Science of Neuromarketing. The objectives of our lesson plan is to study the concept of neuromarketing. Now, quote, neuromarketing is the science behind measuring physiological and neural signals to gain insight into customers' motivations, preferences, and decisions, which can help them make informative, creative advertising, product development, pricing, and other marketing areas. In other words, neuromarketing is applying neuroscience in designing advertising to hopefully make their advertising more optimum. In this lesson plan, students will elaborate on the principles of neuromarketing and use pupillometry, in other words, measuring eye movement to see if we can determine what a consumer is thinking as they're looking and performing a cognitive task, such as looking at an advertising. Some career connections that we have kind of established for this. First of all, this lesson is it's inspired by Dr. Stephen Thurman, who is an ARL neuroscientist working at ARL West in California. And his research has to do with pupillometry, measuring the pupils and pupil movement and trying to quantify what a pupil is doing and trying to see how that correlates to how a subject is thinking. And the reason that's important is because it's very difficult to understand what's inside of somebody's head. But it seems, and this is what he's researching, that the eyes tend to reveal or may reveal what a person is thinking. And so this lesson plan is going to simulate some of the quantitative analyses that he had to work through. And some of the basic math functions that students will get to learn will be things like mean, median, mode, central tendencies, and variabilities in descriptive statistics. Dina?
Some of the STEM careers, when you look at those, you look at, I'm sorry.
You're good.
When we were discussing how we would create this unit and we were trying to figure out how we take STEM or digital media and integrate it into this lesson, the first thing we could think of is how would my students create something that will, that's kind of tedious for them. Well, in my experience, when I have them to create animations and then have to tie in where they have to make the animation match with what they're saying and stuff like that, that makes them think. And for some, it's harder than others. So we took that and we integrated into this lesson. Well, the animated explainer of this video project offers students hands-on experience that connects directly to several career paths in digital media, marketing, and as well as entertainment. There are some career connections. You have animation and multimedia artists. You have graphic designer, video editor, motion graphic designer, sound designer, marketing and advertising professional, digital media specialist, as well as content creator and producer. These connections illustrate how well the project prepares students for real world connections. They will take this and they can go as far as a regular marketing firm, or they may even be able to go to Disney.
Yep. Thank you. And so to start off our lesson plan or our lesson, we got to start with engagement. And the idea in this engagement activity is to get students to focus on the eyes and focus specifically on blinking, or in other words, not blinking. So I want you to imagine a tournament where your students are going to be challenging each other at a staring contest. You know, the old, we're going to stare at each other and whoever blinks last is the winner. And you're going to go through this process where each student will then challenge each other in a tournament. And at the very end, a crown will be given to the student who will blink the least. And the reason this is important for this lesson is because we want to get the students to focus on the eyes. Remember that the eyes reveal or may reveal what the person is thinking. And so if we can ground this entire lesson on focusing on the eyes, then that will engage our students into this process. For the next part in the exploration, then students here will then start learning about how blinking might correlate to cognitive load. So for example, there are two activities here. The first activity is to help students explore, why do we physiologically blink? The second activity is now going to take the students to then focus on learning how to quantify blinking and how that correlates to what they're trying to think about. For example, if a student is trying to work on a difficult math problem, do they blink more or do they blink less? So the second activity, is going to help students to measure and hopefully find some kind of mathematical descriptive statistics, mean, median, mode, central tendencies, and variability, and use that to help quantify or characterize what these cognitive tasks look like when they're focused on the eyes. When we move on to the explain stage, students will then will look at a couple of things. We'll then start shifting gears into the concept of neuromarketing and how scientists use neuroscience to help them design marketing materials for consumers. So the first activity, we'll have them take a look at a video and then take some notes on that. And then the students will also start practicing a little bit more on their mathematical quantification, such as mean, median, mode, central tendencies, and then variabilities. And then, of course, we'll wrap up with a quick formative assessment to see how much they've learned within those topics. And as we start shifting now into the neuromarketing part of this lesson plan, during the elaborate stage, that's where they'll explore that even further. Dina?
Okay. Well, during the elaborate stage is when we actually implemented our 8-week plan. And during this plan, the students will actually use their newly learned neuromarketing concepts. They will design a 45-second animated video featuring a character who they created, who walks through various environments while discussing a new technical product. The video is intended for marketing purposes on social media platforms. So, like I said, this activity is 8 weeks, but within this 8 weeks, they have several activities within, or kind of like a step. So, of course, first, they have to create their character and environment design. They will have approximately 2 weeks to complete this. Of course, your more proficient and advanced students will do this. They might even do it in a couple of days. And then one thing I've learned from teaching my students, the more they love the program, yes, they will stay on it day and night. And when using these programs, you're thinking about things such as let's see, you have Adobe Photoshop, you will use Illustrator, you use After Effects as well as Premiere Pro. The more they know it, of course, the less time they will need to put everything together. But within this first part, they will create visually appealing characters and dynamic backgrounds relevant to the product's uses. This includes conceptualizing, drafting, and final designs. Each part of these, we have included templates to help you, well, not only you, but help your students to complete their task. All right, then they're going to their script writing. That takes about a week. And you would think for a 45-second video, it takes a whole week. It does. In their time, they will research, they will find out more about the product, what exactly needs to be said, how would they get their target audience's attention, because it's more than just saying, hey, tell me about this. So during this time, they will develop a concise and persuasive script that integrates product features with a clear call to action. This involves brainstorming, drafting, and revising the script. So as I said before, it also has the template. All right, then we'll go to the animation. Now, this part actually does take a little while because it's very detailed, but it will give them about 3 weeks to take care of this. Produce a fluid animation where the character walks and talks, ensuring proper synchronization of audio and visuals. That takes a little while. This stage includes storyboarding, animating, and refining the final product. Then you have the sound design. The kids love this. We have several students who love music production and stuff like that. So anytime they can take time from class or time in class to make the smallest little noise to go along with a step or a clap or anything, they love it. So we give them about a week for this, in which they will incorporate voice over music, sound effects to enhance the video's impact. Tasks include selecting appropriate sounds, recording voiceovers, and syncing audio with the video. Presentation, week one. They prepare and deliver a presentation explaining their project's creative and technical decisions. Why did they create this person? Why is the person dressed this way? Why is the background the way it is? Why did they make the decisions they made to create this animation? This involves assembling presentation materials, practicing the presentation, and discussing feedback. And I have given you the outline for the explainer video. Now, during the evaluation, I have also created a rubric. It's a 20-point rubric. And in this rubric, you are assessing the character and environment design, the script writing, the animation quality, their sound design, and the overall impact and presentation. So when they get to the end of it, like by reading it or by watching this video, this 45-second video, would you buy this object or this, whether it be a software or a new headset, a new cell phone, a new app? Exactly what is it? But by watching this 45-second video, or we're going to call it a commercial because that's really what it is, would you purchase this item?
Yeah. And you know what I love about our project is this whole part about advertising, right? Because you and I both know that everybody is always being marketed to. And so by tying in neuromarketing, cognitive sciences, advertising, students will learn how these decisions get made and why do these designers of these advertisings make these decisions specifically to get you to buy something or get you to do something. Right. And that's where this neuromarketing part comes in. And so to wrap things up, when the project is all completed as an extension, students can then do the same activity from exploration 2 and then watch each other's videos and check their blink rates. Does the blink rates correlate to a more engaging video? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. And then they can even take it one step further and try an online application called Gaze Recorder, which actually tracks the eye and how the eye looks at certain parts of an advertising. And what that'll do is it'll show where a person is looking in a video or in their animation. And so I hope this lesson plan is something that you all can use. Dina and I had a great time working on it together, and I hope that you have a chance to work on it with your students. Thank you.
Thank you.